Imagine this. You've spent 4 years in college. You paid 5 to 10 lakhs for an engineering degree. Your parents sacrificed. You studied hard. You passed with decent marks. Graduation day comes. You're excited. The world is yours, right? Wrong. You're now part of a statistic no one talks about. 83% of engineering graduates in India don't have a job waiting for them. Not even an internship. Just unemployment. And here's the insane part. You're actually more likely to be jobless because you're educated. This is the unemployment paradox. Welcome to India's hidden economic crisis. The impossible numbers. Let me paint the full picture because it's absolutely wild. India's economy is growing at 6 to 7% annually. We're the world's fastest growing major economy. Startups are thriving, tech companies are exploding, the stock market hits record highs every month. Meanwhile, millions of educated Indians can't find jobs. Let's talk numbers. 83% of engineering graduates, that's roughly 1.25 million students every single year, graduate without a job or internship offer. Not 50%, not 70%, 83%. For MBA graduates, it's almost as bad. 50% of MBA graduates are jobless even months after graduation. That's 1 in every 2 people who spend 2 years and 10 to 30 lakhs getting an MBA. But wait, there's something even more disturbing. Only 8.25% of Indian graduates work in jobs that match their education level. This means if you have an engineering degree, you're probably driving for Uber, working in call centers, or doing sales jobs that don't even require high school. Remember that 5 lakh engineering degree? You're now flipping burgers with it. Metaphorically, sometimes literally. Here's where it gets really strange. Educated people are actually more unemployed than uneducated people. Graduate unemployment sits at 8%. But for people with primary education, only 3.6% unemployment. Yes, you read that right. The more you study, the more likely you are to be unemployed. It's like the entire system is designed backwards. Let me tell you about the people living this nightmare. There's Priya. She spent 6 lakhs on an engineering degree in Pune. Top marks in college, smart student, passionate about code. She graduated in 2024. It's now December 2025. She's still looking for her first job. 14 months unemployed. Meanwhile, her parents are asking, why aren't companies calling? Your marks were good. Why? She doesn't have an answer. The truth? She wasn't taught the technologies companies need. Her college curriculum was from 2015. She knows C++ and Java. Companies want Python, JavaScript, and cloud computing. Nobody taught her those. So, she's competing with thousands of other engineering graduates, all equally qualified, all equally lost. She applies online, 500 plus applications, maybe 10 interviews, 0 offers. Why? She can't code real-world applications. She can pass exams but can't solve actual problems. Then there's Arjun. He got an MBA from a tier 2 business school, spent 12 lakhs. The college promised 100% placement. Spoiler alert, it didn't happen. Only 7% of MBA graduates from colleges outside the top 20 actually get jobs. He is now working as a sales executive, making 12,000 rupees a month. His MBA certificate is gathering dust. Why don't they teach us skills? He asks. Why is it all theory? Why did nobody mention that employers don't care about case studies when you can't actually analyze real business data? Or take Rahul. He got his first offer, 15 lakh per year, fresh out of engineering college. He was excited until, during salary negotiation, he panicked. The HR person said, "Can you join by next week?" He didn't want to lose the offer, so he accepted 12 lakh instead. A 3 lakh difference gone in one conversation. That's 25,000 less per month. For a 30-year career, that's 90 lakh he'll never earn. All because he didn't know how to negotiate. Now multiply this by millions. Millions of Priyas, Arjuns and Rahuls. All educated, all qualified, all stuck. Why is this happening? The root cause. This isn't random. It's not an accident. There's a system failing them. Let me break it down. Problem number 1. Education and employers are living in different worlds. Here's the thing. College professors and industry leaders haven't had a conversation in 20 years. Colleges teach theory, employers want skills. Colleges use 2015 textbooks. Employers need people to know AI, machine learning, cloud computing, and modern programming language. Only 40% of engineering students do even one internship. That means 60% graduate without even touching a single real-world project. They've never written code that actually works. Never debugged a real system. Never solved a customer problem. And don't even get me started on soft skills. Communication skills are employable in only 55% of engineering graduates. Creativity? Only 44.3%. Critical thinking? 54.6%. These aren't just nice to have skills. These are the difference between being hired and being rejected. Employers are literally screaming, "We need people who can think, communicate, and solve problems." Colleges are producing people who can memorize and regurgitate. It's a fundamental mismatch, and it's nobody's fault except the system. Colleges are printing degrees, not educating people. India has exploded from 642 universities in 2011 to 993 universities now. That's a 54% increase. Sounds great, right? Except quality collapsed. Many of these new colleges are run by people who have never worked in industry. They hire teachers based on affordability, not expertise. The best teachers go to IITs and top colleges. Tier 2 and Tier 3 colleges get whoever is desperate. Result? Teaching quality is dismissal. A student from a Tier 3 engineering college asked me, "Our professor teaches us about networks using a 20-year-old textbook. He's never worked in any tech company. How is he teaching us what industry needs?" Exactly. How? Many of these colleges exist purely to extract fees. 6 to 10 lakhs per student, thousands of students. The math is simple. Take money, hand out degrees, shut down after 5 years when students complain. 220 B schools have already closed down. 120 more are about to. They were running on empty, pure credential mills. But the damage is already done. Millions graduated with worthless degrees. Too many graduates, too few good jobs. Let's talk about supply and demand. Universities crank out 1.5 million engineers every year. 5.5 million graduates total annually. Meanwhile, the formal sector creates maybe 500,000 to 600,000 new jobs annually. Do the math. 8.5 million graduates, 600,000 good jobs. Everyone else? Figure it out. It's not even close. We are flooding the market with graduates faster than jobs can absorb them. Most of the new jobs go to 10% graduates from IITs and top colleges. Everyone else fights for scraps. And here's the kicker. Many of these jobs are capital intensive and automated. Tech companies don't need 10,000 coders. They need 100 brilliant ones and AI to do the rest. Manufacturing jobs are disappearing to robots. Banks are closing branches. Automation is eating jobs faster than we can create them. Jobless growth. Indian economic curse. This is the real issue nobody talks about. India's GDP grows 6 to 7% annually. That's great. But employment? Employment grows at 1 to 2%. Your economy is growing 6x faster than jobs are being created. This is called jobless growth. Growth without employment. Imagine a factory that's 30% more productive this year, but they hired nobody new. Nobody got a raise. Same 100 workers doing more work. That's Indian economy. GDP is booming, but workers aren't benefiting. The growth is happening in capital-intensive sectors like tech, machines, not people, finance, algorithms, not traders, manufacturing, robots, not workers, e-commerce, automation, not staff. Labor-intensive sectors that would absorb millions, agriculture, textiles, construction, are stagnant or dying. Result, you have a 7% GDP growth rate and 8% graduate unemployment simultaneously. The economic tsunami. Let's zoom out and talk about what this means for India's future. 200 to 250 billion in lost economic potential annually. Think about it. All that human capital, talented, educated young people, is either jobless or underemployed. They're not being productive. They're not starting business. They're not innovating. They're waiting tables or driving Ubers with engineering degrees. That's not just a personal tragedy. That's economic waste on a massive scale. When millions of educated people can't find jobs, they don't spend money. They don't buy homes, cars, or start families. They don't consume. The entire consumption engine that powers India's growth stalls. Credit card defaults are rising, savings are at historic lows. Young people are anxious, depressed, and losing confidence in the system. This isn't sustainable. You can't have jobless growth forever. Eventually, the system breaks. The bigger picture. Why this matters. Here's why the story matters to you personally. If you have a child in school, this is their future. If you're a recent graduate, this is your present. If you're paying for someone's education, this is your money being wasted. If you're an employer, this explains why you can't find good talent despite millions applying. If you're a voter, this explains why your taxes are being spent on education that doesn't produce employable workers. This is an economic crisis disguised as an education problem. And it's being ignored. Mainstream media talks about GDP, economists focus on inflation, politicians claim 7% growth. Meanwhile, millions of educated, talented young Indians are stuck. That 200 to 250 billion loss we mentioned, that's growth your country is not achieving. That's innovation that's not happening. That's human potential being wasted. And unlike inflation or interest rates, this problem isn't debated in parliament. It's not headline news. It's just happening. Your friend's sibling, your neighbor's son, that brilliant kid who topped her school, they're all trying to figure out why having a degree didn't get them a job. This is the unemployment paradox. More degrees, fewer jobs. Better education investment, worst outcomes. Economic growth, personal stagnation. It's the system working perfectly at producing unemployment. But here's the thing. Understanding the problem is the first step. Once you know why this is happening, the curriculum mismatch, the jobless growth, the capital-intensive automation, you can start asking the right questions. Why are we training 1.5 million engineers when only 6% have jobs waiting? Why does college take 4 years but teach zero relevant skills? Why is the government running 20 different skill development programs with zero coordination? Why are we measuring success by GDP growth instead of job creation? These are the questions India needs to answer. But until then, millions of educated young Indians will keep experiencing this paradox. More degrees, fewer jobs, and nobody's talking about it.